I regret nothing and everything all at the same time. Today we are getting bougie around here, all right? More bougie than normal. We are doing, I don't want to say a full face of Dior, but more like a full complexion face of Dior. You know what I'm saying? So we've got foundation, we've got powder, we've got bronzer, we've got highlight, we've got blush, we've got concealer, you name it, we've got it. Well, not really, please don't name them because I might not have them. But you know what I'm saying? We're doing a full complexion of Dior and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, and that's basically how we're going to roll. So you know the drill. If that sounds interesting to you, let's do the YouTubey things. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it around the socials, all of those good things. And now let's put like a considerable amount of money of makeup products on my face. Honestly, have no idea what inspired this because they're all completely new purchases. I spent some coins. I'm not proud of myself, but I'm also proud of myself at the same time. I think I just honestly kept hearing people rave about the new bronzer and I was like, I really am such a sucker for a bronzer. I really want to try it. And then obviously these like new highlighters came out. I got like, Australia got like a new makeup relaunch first before the rest of the world. Like, I was so excited. Anyway, I think I just got really excited, and what started it all was this. So I put this in my cart, the new highlighter, and then I was like, well, I need the new bronzer as well. And then I was like, I really want to get the Air Flash. So I got that, and then my mum got the new, I said that really weird, my mum got the new like Dior powder and I kind of got jealous. So I was like, well, I really want to get the new Dior powder. And then like Michelle Wong always talks about the concealer and I was like, well, I really want the concealer. And it just really escalated. And then I had everything except a blush. So I got a blush. So it really went from 0 to 100 really quickly, you know what I'm saying? But I regret nothing and everything all at the same time. So this isn't a first impressions, this is a full review. I've been testing these for the last like 3 weeks, I think it is 2-3 weeks. They kind of came in over a week and then I've been testing them ever since, and I really wanted to like give you guys a proper review on these because they are such expensive products. I didn't want to just do a first impressions and be like, oh yeah, it seems nice. I really wanted to be able to tell you whether or not I think the products are worth your coins or not. So it is like, just know I've put some thought into this, okay? Because you know, it's like rocket science around here. Okay, so the first product that we're going to use is the Dior Air Flash. Now this is in the color 2N, which I thought would be the right shade match. I kind of went on, you know how Temptalia has like that foundation matrix? I went on there and had a look and I figured this would be it. It's a little bit dark, so I've put the Fenty Beauty Body Sauce on my neck and my chest because it is a little bit too dark for me. It is a little bit more, I want to say, for lack of a better word, orange toned or warm toned maybe, but I want to say orange toned than I probably would like. But again, with a tan, I can make it work for me. Now I'm just going to give it a shake. So it has like a little air, like a metal ball in there, I'm presuming, or some kind of ball to like give it a shake up. And then it's the like spray foundation. So you don't want to spray this on your face. Okay, I need to tell you guys a little fun fact about Dior. Dior for me is super, super, super nostalgic because, and this, some of you are probably going to be like, really, you're a fucking teenager, but it is what it is. My first ever makeup brand that I ever was allowed to try and like use was Dior. I know, very bougie, but back in the day, makeup wasn't what it is, and my mum only shopped at Myer in Australia, and so we got Dior. I remember at the time, I'm pretty sure I got like the Dior Forever foundation back then, but they had just released the Dior Air Flash and they gave me a sample of it. Like, this is how old this product is, which is hilarious to me, but it's also like a full circle moment for me that I've like now purchased the full size of this, and it was like my second ever foundation I had tried back in the day from a sample. Anyway, I learned very quickly from back when I was like 15 years old that you can't just spray this shit on your face like directly, because it's not, I mean, maybe it's designed for that, but it's not. If you spray this, it's going to be like any other like deodorant or whatever that you spray. It's going to go everywhere, you guys. It's not going to work out well. So I like to use mine with a beauty blender, and I just literally spray it directly onto it. Another product that you could probably use is like, another product that you could use is a brush. I wouldn't recommend spraying this directly onto your face. The other thing that I like about this particular foundation is that it doesn't seem to have a fragrance to it. No, it just smells like aerosol spray. So I like that it doesn't have a fragrance to it. It's a lighter coverage foundation, so you can see that all my imperfections at the moment are peeking through. You can build it up in areas. I just think like if you're gonna use this foundation as like a full coverage foundation, it's really not gonna go very far for you, because it is, because of the aerosol, it really doesn't last that long. Like, you really do burn through product quite quickly when it is like the aerosol, so I will just say that. And this is not a cheap foundation, you guys. This was $100 in Australia. I'm not sure how much it is in the US, but in Australia it was like $95, which is very expensive. Like, if you're comfortable wearing a more light medium foundation, then it doesn't enhance like texture, it doesn't settle in fine lines, it really just makes your skin look really healthy and beautiful. In terms of wear time as well, this is a really beautiful long wearing foundation. It's not like the longest possible wearing foundation that you're gonna get, but it is a long, like, I wore this to work all day, and honestly I even wore a mask with it. I mean, I set my face with powder, but like with the mask and everything, it was really long wearing, it didn't wear away, it still looked absolutely beautiful. So now what are we moving on to? We're moving on to concealer now, and I have the Dior Skin Correct concealer in the shade 1N. But first of all, what I'm going to do is color correct with my Nars color corrector. So this is in the color 1N, and again, I've noticed that with Dior's kind of shades, I know a lot of these products, side note, are not new, but you know, around here we're just YOLO and we review what we want. I've noticed with Dior's shades, they're just like slightly darker than like what you would kind of anticipate them to be. Like, this was like fair neutral, I think 1N was, and it's quite dark almost. It's probably fine for this foundation because this foundation is a little bit too dark. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out this concealer, and because I can't blend and talk at the same time, I will tell you my thoughts on this concealer afterwards. Is this my favorite concealer? No, it's not. This does not, in my opinion, beat the Pat McGrath Sublime concealers. Those concealers for me are just absolute perfection. They are the benchmark for my under eyes. Does this compare? It really doesn't. It really truly doesn't. This on its own, when I just wear this concealer on its own, I don't love it as much as everyone else seems to love it. I think that it's just a little bit drying on my under eyes. Obviously, it's just my under eyes. Like, I can only give you the review based on my skin tone and everything, so just keep that in mind. You might want to watch some other reviews if you're looking at this to kind of see different opinions and like likes and dislikes, etc. I recommend that for every product. But yeah, I just don't think that this is my all-time favorite. It also doesn't have the level of coverage that I'm looking for. I know that the Pat ones don't, but I find that the Pat ones layer really beautifully so that I can build up the coverage, and also with the finish that they give my under eyes, I'm happy to give that, like, I'm happy to have a little bit less coverage, whereas I don't like love the finish that this gives my under eyes, and I don't love the coverage. So it's like, I wouldn't naturally, like, if I had my Pat McGrath and this one there, I would reach for my Pat, you know what I'm saying? Is this the worst concealer I've ever tried? Abso-freaking-lutely not. It is not. It is still a good concealer, and if you don't have as difficult under eyes as I do, then I actually think you will really love this concealer. It is, you've got to remember that when I give my concealer reviews, I'm giving it based off like pigmentation, texture, wrinkles, dryness, all that kind of stuff. So I think if you don't have those things, or don't have, especially the pigmentation, if you don't have the pigmentation, I think you will probably really like this concealer. So I'm just going to quickly go off camera and put some Huda Beauty Tantour on, and also use my Pat McGrath powder to set my under eyes, and then we will come back and we will set my face with the Dior powder. All right, let's move on to this one. So this is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder. So that's this one. You've probably seen it all over the gram because people have been doing these fancy pictures with like a light and it puts the Dior, you know what I'm saying, right? Anyway, this is in the shade 1 Neutral, and it's basically supposed to be like a translucent powder. Now, I've seen people love this and I've seen people hate this. Samantha March is actually the one that really pushed me over the edge to try this because she freaking loves this powder. She's gone through like a whole one already. So she loves this powder like I love the Kosas Cloud Set powder, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and put this on, and then I'm going to give you the deets and how I feel about it, okay? Now, that was so weird, okay? Anyway, I'm taking my powder puff and I'm pushing it into the compact. Again, I use a powder puff for everything because I really like to set my face, but if you have drier skin than me, just use a brush. Now, I'm going to push this all into my skin. So this side of my face is powdered. So I've powdered my forehead and everything, and you can see like it looks really matte and filtered, but still when I turn my head it's like glowy, whereas this side you can kind of see the texture a bit more and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely is filtering. Now let me go ahead and we'll powder the other side. My full face is powdered now, and you can tell I look a lot more filtered. Now here's my thoughts on this powder. One, The shade isn't quite right for me. Again, it's like a little bit like warm tone. I want to say warm tone, but warm tone normally is yellow toned, and I don't find these to be yellow toned. I find these to be slightly orangey based. I don't know. Does anyone else find that, or am I just completely crazy? Anyway, I find it to be slightly off in tone for me. It definitely adds a color. So I would be curious to try the shade lighter than this one to see how it goes, because with this foundation, this powder is like perfect, but with my normal everyday like shade color, this is slightly too dark for me. So I have to wear this when I have a tan on. Now, in terms of like what I actually think of this product, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful product. Do I love it as much as my Kosas Cloud Set powder? I absolutely do not. Would I love it as much as I love the Kosas powder if I'd never met the Kosas powder? Potentially, yes. Potentially I would, because I don't know, hopefully you guys can see on camera, it's absolutely blurred my skin. It is very, very beautiful, and it really does keep a nice, healthy glow to the skin, which is what I love about my Kosas one. I think what I love more, I think probably the biggest thing that throws me off this powder is the shade. It really just is just slightly off, and that throws me a little bit, whereas the Kosas powder is like the perfect shade for me. But also the Kosas powder is definitely more filtering than this powder, and the Kosas powder works a lot more consistently with a lot of other foundations than this one. So this one works lovely. I've noticed every time I use the Dior Air Flash, it works absolutely beautiful with it. I used like the Tarte Cosmetics Found Sealer yesterday, and then I've used this with like my Bare Minerals and stuff like that, and it doesn't look as beautiful as my Kosas one does. So, and I only compare it to that because that's like, you guys know that's my freaking holy grail. Like that's nearly my favorite product I own, you know what I'm saying? So I think this is a lovely, lovely formula. I think if you have dry skin, you'll like this way more than me. I think if you have any oilier skin than me, don't even bother, because it doesn't set. And that's the other thing. The Kosas is like long wearing. You can set it and forget it. You can't set and forget this. It does kind of like, yeah, it really allows the oils to come through a little bit more. It's also like, if I find with the Kosas one, you can kind of build and build and it just still looks good and it doesn't really matter too much. Whereas with this one, if you kind of just go a little bit too far, you do look cakey as well. So just, yeah, just be mindful. So I don't hate this. I am glad that I have it in my collection, but I wouldn't like repurchase it at this stage. Let's move on to bronzer. Now I have the new fancy bronzer, and I will say, I actually haven't mentioned this yet either, but the packaging for Dior, like A freaking plus, gorgeous, luxe, love it. Like perfection, perfection. So this is the new bronzer. Now the new bronzer has like, it's like a cushion. I don't know if you guys can see that, and it's like a matte cushion, and then it has the like logo, and then it's Dior Forever Natural Bronze, and mine's in the color 3 Soft Bronze. This bronzer I picked up, I'm gonna put this on while we talk. I'm using my e.l.f. brush like normal. This bronzer I picked up because just everybody loves and raves about it, especially Morgan Turner. She always raves about it, but everyone that I see use this just really loves it. And then when the highlighters came out, and Britt Clark, she's a massive like Dior lover, so she's a big problem for me. She's kind of really what inspired me to really pick up these products as well. But yeah, I picked this up because everyone loved it. And I have to admit, I freaking love it too. I do really like this bronzer. This bronzer is on par with me with the Makeup by Myer bronzer, which you guys know I love. Yeah, I have to admit that the bronzer has my little heart. Like, it's beautiful. It's very smooth and like airbrushed. It doesn't have a lot of fallout. It doesn't, like, you can pick it up on your brush and it has pigment, but not too much pigment. It goes on like the smoothest that you can possibly imagine. I've tried this every which way. I've tried it with cream contour, no cream products, with powder, without powder, with multiple different foundations, all of that kind of stuff, and it always goes on flawlessly. And I just love how sun-kissed and bronzy I look when I wear this. Like, it's just, I love it. I really love it. And I have to give you a little spoiler effect. This is my favorite Dior product that I picked up, hands down. Like, if they were like, okay, you can just keep one and then you've got to give it all back, this is the one that I would keep, the bronzer, because it's actually perfection. Let's go ahead and move on to highlight because that is always the next step that I do. So this is the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer in Pink Glow. So shade number 2. I got the pink one. My lights are probably a bit bright, so you probably can't see. Hopefully you can. Again, all these come with a mirror, by the way. Now this is the same compact as the bronzer, but this one has like a shiny finish and this one's a matte finish, which I really like because when I have them in my makeup collection, like when I go to reach for them, I know what I'm reaching for. So again, it's like kind of a cushiony feel. It's cute. It's not heavy or anything like that, by the way. The packaging of this isn't heavy, but it's still really nice. I really like it. So I'm going to pick up my BH Cosmetics Rose Quartz brush like I always do, and I'm going to rub it into this. I will say I feel like this is almost getting a little bit hard pan, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I mean, look at the glow. So what is my thoughts on the highlighter? I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. You can see my glow. It is gorgeous. And in real life, it looks beautiful as well. However, this is 85 Australian dollars. And I don't really think it's worth 85 Australian dollars if I'm being completely transparent with you guys. I think I have other highlighters in my collection that are a lot more smoothing on the skin. I will say that this is slightly texture emphasizing, just slightly, not a lot, but just slightly. And when we're getting to an $85 freaking highlighter, I'm gonna pick it apart like in every way that I can because it's a lot of money. Am I glad to have this highlighter in my collection? Yes, me personally, I am, because I'm a bit of a makeup collector. I adore luxury makeup and I really love trying different formulas. But if you're someone that just wants like 1 or 2 highlighters in your collection, I would recommend purchasing something else like the Makeup by Mario one, the Pat McGrath one, even a Becca one before they closed down. Like, I think they're cheaper formulas, they're cheaper products, but they're also superior products in my personal opinion. I mean, you might feel differently, you might try this and it might be jam. If you're a massive Dior lover, then you'll probably pick this up and you'll love it. I'm not saying that the product doesn't perform at all, it absolutely does, but it just doesn't perform to the level that an $85 highlighter for me would perform at, if that kind of makes sense. It reminds me actually a little bit of the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighters, if I'm being completely honest. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Okay, so the last product that we are trying from our Dior Complexions today is the blush. So this is the blush right here. It comes extra bougie in like a little felt package, which is adorable. It's like the dark blue packaging. This is called the Rouge Blush in 136 Delicate Matte, and it's gorgeous. When you open it up, you get the mirror and then you get the blush here and like a little brush that let's face it, will never use. I got this one because it is like a beautiful, beautiful like peachy color. It's so pretty. I actually wanted one of the Dior Backstage blushes, you know, like I'll put a picture here for you guys. I wanted one of those, but freaking Kylie Jenner has sold that out globally. I'm pretty sure she mentioned that it was like her favorite blush and now everybody freaking wants it. I just wanted it because I liked the look of it and it matched like the Dior Backstage products that I have. But anyway, I settled for the Rouge blush. We're fine. We're fine. Now I'm not going to use the brush that this comes with because I don't like it. I'm going to use my Delium Tools angled brush and I'm just going to pick some up. I will say, you guys, I don't know if you can tell, but it is a very, very powdery product. So just keep that in mind. It's like got a lot of fallout, but it is really, really pretty. It's also a blush that like you really kind of can build up. It's definitely not going to be like one of those ones where you accidentally put it on and you look like a clown. Like it really is quite buildable, more so than like any blush that I have in my collection, to be completely honest with you. So here's my thoughts on the blush. I think it's actually probably more so my skin tone than it is the shade of this blush that doesn't like make it pop a lot. I kind of like that because this is probably one of the more natural looking blushes that I have in my collection. I also haven't brought in anything peach into my collection in a really, really long time. So for me, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous blush. This one I think was 75 or 79 Australian dollars. So it's an expensive blush. Definitely expensive. These products are even more expensive than Pat McGrath. So is it worth $70 compared to the Pat McGrath blushes or the Makeup by Mario blushes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Go and pick up one of those. They're so much more beautiful. However, again, I feel like you would be watching this review, maybe 1, because you like me, thank you so much, but 2, because you are looking at Dior makeup for a reason. Like, you're probably looking to pick up some designer brand makeup or some luxury makeup. So it might be that you're not actually looking for an alternative. It might be that you're specifically interested in Dior and if their products work. And if that is the case, then 100% this blush is really, 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 really beautiful. And I think that you would really like it if you brought it into Dior collection, I don't think that you would pick this up and be disappointed in any way, shape or form. I really, truly don't. So that's my fun fact on that. Now, I'm just gonna quickly go and finish up the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna wrap this up. All right, you guys, and this is the completed makeup look. My eye look and my lips will be in a video after this one, I'm pretty sure. So make sure you subscribed and, you know, the notification bell and all that stuff so that you don't miss it, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that wraps up my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have any of these products and what are your thoughts? Do you have other Dior products? I really do want to try the eyeshadows and stuff, but like for a quint, I think they're called, it's like $100. And that's a lot of money on eyeshadow for me, especially with I'm not sure about whether I would get a lot of use out of it or not. So let me know if you have any Dior eyeshadows, what ones you actually recommend, and what you think I should look at getting, because I do want to do a like Dior eyeshadow kind of review as well. So let me know please in the comments. Thank you so much. All right, I'm pretty sure this has been a long one, so let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you so much if you're watching to this point. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye. I really like it. So adorable. So adorable. Let me clean my lips up because that's disgusting. Is that it? Oh, that was it. Oh no, we got the blush. You get the blush and then the brush. What am I saying?